call. Timeout on the floor. Dunk King's iced coffee with French vanilla swirl, French vanilla shot, sweet cold foam, and cinnamon sugar topping. Order the whole Dunk King's menu on the app. For the Dunk King's iced coffee or pop into your local Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. Price of participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply. UConn 5-4 early. 15:48 to go from Brown Paint, Darris and Scott. This is UConn basketball in Learfield.
Home run in the real estate game? Look no further than Lewis Real Estate. We're not just about the commission. We're about giving back to the community. With below market fees and personalized attention, we're the advocate you need in your corner. Don't settle for less. Choose Lewis Real Estate and make your real estate dreams a reality. Visit the Lewis Business Center, conveniently located at 994 to 1000 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford. That's SLewisRealEstate.com, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
This is UConn men's basketball. Now back to our Big Y broadcast location.
What the good facilities on the field are just back into life with confidence. Make your move at OAHCT.com.
Well, so far there's been a lot of threes taken, especially early on for UConn. The Huskies' first 4 shots were three-pointers. The first one from Castle went in from Tristan Newton. They missed their next 3. But they got the third chance putback by Donovan Klingon, and now they've been focusing since that Klingon shot on getting the ball inside. They got a little bit trigger happy from outside in these first couple of minutes since they began to pound it inside. And for Villanova, they really struggled in the half-court set early on. They missed 6 of the first 7 shots. The only field goal they got in that sequence was Dixon, who jumped in a passing lane and picked off a pass by Castle and went in for a fast break layup. But in the half-court set, they weren't connecting until Dixon able to drive the lane and get past Klingon and eventually put it in. So Dixon has all 4 Villanova points. The Huskies are 2 for 7 shooting, 1 for 4 from 3. Villanova's 0 for 3 from three-point range, 2 for 8 overall, and the Huskies out-rebounding Villanova 7-4 early on.
Villanova comes in here on a 3-game winning streak. They've outscored Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Butler by 74-57 in these last 3 games. They're holding teams under 60 points. That's a good sign. If you're going to crawl back into things in the Big East, if you do it with defense, you got a shot. Villanova's making the move right now.
And they're not a great rebounding team on the season, plus 1.9 rebounding margin, minus 0.8 in Big East games. But that game on Tuesday, they out-rebounded Butler 37-20. That's the difference in that 10-point win.
All right, Newton to inbound the ball to our right on the baseline, and he gets it into Castle on the left sideline. Now, Samson Johnson's out of the game. He gives it to Newton. They skip it right to Caravan. They fumble it in the near corner. Spencer for 3, no good. Samson Johnson tips it out to Newton. Thought about shooting, gives it back to Spencer on the right wing. Spencer being covered by Hakeem Hart. Back to Caravan. They work into Newton. Newton in the far corner in front of the Villanova bench. Cut off on the drive, gives to Caravan. Caravan back to Newton. Newton with an up fake, can't get a shot off. He fires it up and hits a triple. Hart was right in his shirt, and he made it. And UConn leads 8-4. That was he had a fire. The shot clock was running out. All right, here's Justin Moore, front court left, guarded by Castle. He hands it off to Longino, who just came in the game. He attacks Newton into the paint, nowhere to go, and he kicks it back outside of Dixon with Samson Johnson on him. And Dixon backs away with a right-hand dribble on the left. He starts to drive on Johnson, drives him.
Johnson fouls Dixon on that. Dixon, by the way, committed the foul going into that timeout when he's trying to defend Donovan Klingon, so their leading scorers got one. And Samson Johnson has had a real issue with quick fouls coming in games. 2 quick fouls, 6 of the last 8 games, and he picks up 1 here.
Wayne, I did not misspeak. I think Dixon fouled him. He drilled him with a left forearm, and he made the free throw. And Dan Hurley's arguing with Tim Clockerty right now the same argument. He drilled him with a left forearm, drove him back about 6 inches, and then was able to draw contact. So you have to, as an official, be ready for that call.
I got a nickel that tells me Hurley's going to lose the argument, as will you.
All right, Dixon makes the first. And the second one is up. That one rolls in, too. He's got all 6 of his team's points.
He leads them in free throws taken and free throws made. Number 4 in the Big East, 87%.
8-6. And now 1-2-2 pressure by Villanova. UConn works from the baseline left. This is Caravan into the front court. Gives to DR. Just came in the ballgame. He's at the left hash. Back to Alex. Work it to right side. Newton. He backs away.
DR is in for Castle.
He's guarded by Bamba. Back to DR on the left sideline. Haas with the dribble, backs away, fires it right. It's Spencer for 3, no good up the front rim. Battle for the rebound. Good job by Jordan Longino. They come up with it. Here come the Wildcats, front court right. And the drive into the paint. And a kickback out. Longino gets it from Tyler Burton. Now the attack by Bamba, and he's able to lay it in, and Newton got kicked in the shin, and he is in pain. He is walking gingerly back up the court after Villanova ties the game at 8 apiece.
First player not named Dixon to score a point for the Nova.
All right, here is Spencer out front to Samson Johnson. Ball handed over to Newton. He starts to his left. Tristan backs away from the defense of Bamba. Gives to Samson Johnson. One dribble handoff to Caravan. They fire it in the far corner to Diarra. Diarra tried to drive by Longino. Couldn't. They're down to 4 seconds. It's Caravan for 3. It's no good. And it's rebounded by Villanova's TJ Bamba. 8-8 ball game, 13.5 to go in the first. Here's the drive by Bamba. Put it up, and Samson Johnson rejects it. Ends up in the front row. Be Villanova ball with 22 to shoot. Steph Castle's going to check in, and it's going to be for Spencer. Cam has started out 0 for 2. Caravan 0 for 2.
Villanova starting 3 for 10. 2 of those shots were blocked, but UConn, 8 of its first 11 shots are 3-pointers. They're 2 for 8 outside the arc.
All right, looking to get it in is Longino. And he's having trouble. He's got to call a timeout. Wow, he burns one here on an inbounds play, and the Wildcats coaching staff is not happy at all. It's a 30-second timeout.
So both teams struggling from the floor. Each team has made 3 field goals. UConn 3 for 11. Villanova 3 for 10.
UConn coming off a loss at Creighton by 19 points on Tuesday, trying to bounce back here at home on Saturday night. They've had a lot of time to think about it and regroup, and so far both teams shooting poorly. 3 for 10 for Villanova, 3 for 11 for UConn. But the Wildcats playing some good defense lately, and that can get you places in the Big East Conference.
Huskies fell behind by 23 in that Tuesday game in Omaha. Biggest deficit they've had since Villanova 2 years ago when they trailed by 23 points. And the 85 points Creighton scored was easily a season high by a UConn opponent this year.
You're going to talk to Rip Hamilton at halftime as we're going to get the ball inbounded. We'll have more on that in a moment. Villanova to our left with it. It's Lance Ware handing it off to Longino. He backs away to Hassan, who fires a 3. No good. Batted around out of bounds off Villanova with the UConn ball. The reason I'm bringing it up, I just saw Tayshaun Prince sitting to our left, former Piston teammate of Rich Hamilton. He's going to be here and help celebrate his Raptor hanging of his jersey at halftime.
What did you say, 50 people that he's had, his people that have come out here, family, friends, and teammates.
All right, here's Castle, front court right, gives to Caravan. Caravan fires on the left sideline to Diarra. Diarra with the ball over his head, back to Newton. Newton guarded by Bamba off a high screen by Samson Johnson. Newton backs away and fires to Caravan. They're down to 10 now. Newton holds. He's guarded there. Tries to dribble, penetrate into the paint, spins, fades, shoots, no. Rebound. Villanova gets another one. Justin Moore Great box out by the Wildcats. Here's Moore on a blow-by. Attacks Caravan. Posting him up, puts it up, and drops it in. And Villanova has a 10-8 lead.
6-0 run.
All right, Newton back the other way. Gives it up to Diarra on the right wing. Diarra off the high screen, moves left. Working with Samson Johnson, kicks it right to Castle. Dribble penetration, Castle into the paint, puts him a floater and hits. He really worked over the defense of Tyler Burton, and he connects. UConn ties it at 10. 12:15 to go in the first. Full court pressure by Castle on Justin Moore. Moore into the front court along the right wing. Picked up by Castle. He backs away. Moore out near the timeline. Multiple substitutions waiting to check in. Moore starts to his left, trying to get a shot off. Keeps his dribble into the paint. Now he's down to 7. Now he's down to 6. He kicks it left. It's Burton. He attacks Caravan into the paint. He posts up, and he got a shot off, but he didn't touch any iron. Rebounded by Newton on a run out. Diarra to the cutting Samson Johnson, who lays it in. That's our dime of the game, brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here.
The rare non-dunk field goal by Samson Johnson. 12 of the last 13 field goals were dunks.
12-10, UConn by 2. Justin Moore, front court left, between the rings, isolated with Castle. Now he goes to his right-hand dribble. Now he tries to drive by Castle. They double him for the moment, almost pick it off. Villanova works the perimeter. Bamba sets up, fires a 3, no good. Off the left wing, rebounded by Johnson. Castle runs to the front court. He gives to Diarra. Deep in the corner for 3. Diarra no good. Back rim. And Johnson is hit. And they say it's a travel on Samson Johnson on the rebound.
Dan Hurley is furious.
And Johnson got hit there. Somehow it turned out to be a travel. It's going to be Villanova ball when we come back. Just under 11 minutes to go in the first half. UConn by 2. Experiencing life changes like divorce, death, or starting or buying a business with Brown Panderas and Scott. You get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com. Huskies by a deuce. 10:55 to go on the first. 12-10 from Brown Panderas and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
A small moment like,
What's it like to have a yard?
can lead to an even bigger question like,
Am I ready to buy a home?
and that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul,
Yes.
question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Fight on, Connecticut. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project!
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations!
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
UConn men's basketball presented in part by JT Gamo, suits, blazers rentals, and exclusive men's fashion. JT Gamo, Hartford, jtgamo.com. UConn leads by 2 here at Gamble. Right now, Villanova is among the next 4 out among most of the NCAA prognosticators. Providence, one of the first 4 out. Last 4 in, Seton Hall, Butler. Big East has 5 right now, sitting on the bubble, or at least 5 that should get into the tournament, but so much to be determined, including a game like this, which is critical to Villanova.
Well, it's the night that they retire Rich Hamilton's number 32 behind us. It was his 20th birthday, Valentine's Day, 1998 in Hartford. UConn beat Pittsburgh 92-67. Rip had a 31-point game and shot 5 of 8 from three-point range. A lot of his former UConn teammates are here tonight to help celebrate the big night for Richard Hamilton. And one of those guys was out there at center court. Jake Voskuhl is here tonight as he saluted the crowd, and as Mr. Crispino pointed out, he looked like he was heading for the links.
He did.
He left his golf bag behind. But
yeah, he looked good. And we got Tayshaun Prince, the Pistons member of the team with Rich Hamilton that won, Richard Hamilton, Rip Hamilton that won the NBA title back in 2004. He's in the house too. So tough to score for both teams. Villanova 4 for 14, UConn 5 for 15.
I think it's one big key that Villanova, which is a very good three-point shooting team, 0 for 5 outside the arc.
And they're having trouble against the pressure. They do get it into our right. And they hand it off to Mark Armstrong, the sophomore guard of the South Orange, New Jersey. He works against Castle across the timeline. Between the rings, on a bounce to Eric Dixon, top of the three-point arc, and he gives it up on a bounce to Hart. They dump it down low to Dixon, posting up Klingon, who walls him up, puts the shot up over Klingon. It's no good. Rebounded by Spencer. Jalen Stewart did a nice job of boxing out Tyler Burton that time. He's in the game. There's Diarra between the rings. He is guarded by Hawson. Starts to his right. Gives it up on the right wing to Castle. Out front to Klingon. A couple of dribbles from Donovan. Looking to go backdoor to Spencer. Can't get it to him. Hands off to Jalen Stewart. Behind the screen of Klingon. Stewart drives inside. Nowhere to go. Cut off. Kicks back outside to Diarra. They got to shoot it. Diarra pumps it up. And he rims in and out. And it's rebounded by Eric Dixon. Villanova making UConn running a lot of clock off before they get these shots off. There's Hawson. Starts to his left, and he's fouled by Diarra, who tried to steal it out on the perimeter, and that stops play. That's just the second team foul by UConn, only one by Villanova. 9:50 to go in the first half, and UConn leading by 2.
UConn using the three guards, Diarra, Spencer, and Castle, with Newton on the bench right now. And Klingon came in during that last timeout, and when he was coming in, Samson Johnson actually had played more minutes than Klingon, who does not have a foul yet.
All right, so it is Hart to inbound on the left sideline. Gets it into the backcourt to Mark Armstrong. Armstrong dribbles across the timeline, guarded by Castle with a left hand. He's at the left wing outside the arc. Crossover, tries to attack in the paint. Nowhere to go. Kicks it to Dixon, who fires a three over Klingon. No good. Long rebound, Jalen Stewart. Stewart into the front court. Out front to Spencer, left wing Castle, down low Klingon, and Klingon able to lay it in. Great ball movement by the Huskies. Quick passing, 14-10 lead.
Dixon went for the steal, was out of position when Klingon finally touched it.
Here's Moore with Jalen Stewart guarding him out near the Devon timeline. Moore starts to his right. Picked up by Stewart off the switch. Keeps him. Moore on a handoff to Armstrong outside the arc between the rings on the left wing to Dixon. Pitches it over to Hawson. Kicks back to Dixon. Dribble penetration on Klingon, and Klingon blocked him. And the ball is off his foot. A UConn basketball. Klingon made a tremendous defensive play against Dixon, who was trying to cause trouble and create a foul call. He did not get it. And so it'll be UConn basketball.
Villanova now 4 for 17, and 5 of those shots have been blocked.
Villanova, one of their last 8. 0 for their last 5 as UConn's on a 6-0 run here in the last 3.5 minutes. Only leading by 4, though. Points hard to come by in this one. Just under 9 minutes to go. Here's Castle against full court pressure. Gets a dispenser. Front court right on the sideline. Back to Castle between the rings. He's guarded there by Hakeem Hart. Gives it up to Spencer. Spencer with the ball over his head. Back out front to Castle. Fire it left to Jalen Stewart. Back to Castle out front. They're down to 10. Here's Castle that turns and fires a three. No good. Way short. And it's rebounded by Mark Armstrong. Here comes Armstrong. Into the paint. He attacks Newton. On the right side of the lane, he kicks it back to Dixon. Dixon hands it off to TJ Bamba. Gets it back. Dixon on the right wing on a handoff to Armstrong. Can't get a shot off over Newton. Now he attacks the baseline, kicks it outside. Saved there for the moment by Hart. He fires it right to Dixon. Dixon with a pull-up baseline jumper is no good short. Rebounded by Newton. Tristan to the front court, gives to Castle on the left wing. Back to Newton out front. Newton fires it right to Jalen Stewart. Stewart with a couple of dribbles and a handoff to Castle right wing. Back out front to Spencer. Left wing it comes to Newton, front of the Villanova bench. Newton fires to Spencer for three, and Spencer buries it. Off the right wing, he got a great screen from Castle. UConn 17-10. Now the crowd is into it. Here comes Armstrong, across the timeline, right to left. Guarded by Castle, gives it up on a bounce to Justin Moore. He's got Stewart on him. One bounce pass on the baseline. They're going to double Hart. They work the perimeter to Dixon. A long three by Dixon. No good off the front rim. Rebounded by Newton. Tristan to the front court. He's got 3 boards. They pump it down low. Klingon makes the catch in the paint. He puts it up, in and out. Rebounded by Dixon. That was halfway down the cylinder. Bamba front court left to Dixon. Got Spencer on him. He wants to post him up immediately. Klingon goes to help. And Dixon in trouble. Picks up his dribble. Bamba on the baseline. Bamba gets it inside and able to lay it up and stops the bleeding for the moment. UConn had run off 9 straight points over 5+ minutes. It's now 17-12 UConn. Newton to our right in the front court. He hands it over to Castle up front to Klingon, being hounded by Dixon. Left sideline pass to Spencer. Now it's Newton up the high screen of Klingon. Newton into the paint. Gives to Stewart in the corner for 3. Stewie no good. Rebound Newton. Newton kicks it out to Spencer. Spencer can't get a shot off. Gives to Klingon. Klingon outside the arc and a handoff to Newton. Sets him a screen. Newton into the paint. Nowhere to go. Backs away from Moore. They get it down to Klingon. He turns in traffic and down he goes. Dixon got him, I believe. And let's see. Going to put Klingon on the line as we get to the media timeout. And we'll see who that foul was on. It could be on Dixon. He was in the vicinity.
Moore gets his first.
They call it on Justin Moore. So we'll get 2 free throws from Klingon in a moment. UConn leading 17-12, 6:10 left in the first. It's a new season at Kohl's with everyday styles at great prices. You can get more of what you want for less. Find go-tos for going everywhere and perfect picks for your home. Shop Kohl's at Kohls.com today. UConn by 5. 6:10 to go in the first half. From Gamble, from Brown, Penderas, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Boston just birthed the biggest man-boy band of now time. They're fearless, a little reluctant, and creating a whole new genre of music for the year 24. This is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. Oh yeah, these guys are almost pop music with a sound fueled by the Dung King's iced coffee. Iced coffee with a French vanilla swirl, vanilla shot, sweet cold foam, and cinnamon sugar topping. Order the whole Dung King's menu on the app for the Dung King's iced coffee. Or pop into a local Dunkin' and don't forget to add the Munch King's skewer. Dung King's, America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer, terms apply.
Big Y, your family market, is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the UConn Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for 2 or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Eric Hogarth. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now, we're proud to be the official wealth management partner of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball, presented by Key Bank.
On the field, on the job, wherever your injury happened, Magna Physical Therapy, Connecticut's choice for sports medicine, achieve potential through physical therapy. Magna Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, they're in Avon and Canton, and online at magnapt.com. Points in the paint, 10-8, Villanova. As we know, under the basket is Prime Real Estate. Points in the paint brought to you by Lewis Real Estate, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics. Looking to buy or sell, 860-404-2655.
It's amazing how poorly Villanova shot the ball, considering the fact they're a decent three-point shooting team. And their leading scorer in the season coming in is the 6'8" redshirt senior forward, Eric Dixon. And even though he's a big guy, he takes lots of threes and makes lots of threes, 35% coming in. He's 0 for 3 outside the arc, Villanova 0 for 7. But Dixon has taken 10 of their 20 shots. He is 2 for 10 from the floor. A lot of that's because of good interior defense by Klingon and by Johnson.
And they want to get Klingon away from the basket, Wayne. That's part of the formula for Villanova. And Dan Hurley talked about it in the pregame. But if you go 2 for 10, I don't think you're drawing them out there.
Right, but the point is, your point, I think, is that he's taken 3 threes, and that will draw Klingon out.
Right, he's trying.
Klingon going to the foul line here after the foul on Justin Moore. Donovan Klingon wearing number 32, but it's not his number that'll be retired tonight. That number 32 that Donovan wears is the number his mother wore when she played in college. His mother passed away a couple of years ago. When he first came here, he was going to be number 23, and he said, "Can I make that 32?" At that time, the 32 had not been retired. Donovan Klingon will be the last Husky to wear number 32.
And Klingon rolls the second one in after missing the first. He's now 15 of his last 25 over the last 8 games. Did not attempt a free throw against Creighton on Tuesday. UConn leading 18-12. This is Jordan Longino trying to post up Caravan. They kick it over to Moore, who launches a three and buries it off the left wing to cut the lead to 3, 18-15.
And that's the first 3 by Nova, now 1 of 8.
Justin Moore's been picking it up lately. 5 of 8 threes in the previous 2 games, 6 of 9 for him. Here's Spencer out front to Caravan. They skip it to Castle, left wing. It goes to Newton at the left hash, off the high screen of Klingon. Skips it over to Castle. They kick it over to Spencer, right wing. He circles left, fires a jumper, and he hits! And he got knocked down by Moore. He hit the 3. UConn 21-15. And Lamar Simpson said he flopped, so he didn't get the call. And now Spencer's hit a couple of them.
And those 2, he created his own shot on both of them.
Here's Armstrong. Dribble penetration. Pull up 15-footer by Armstrong. Up the right elbow goes in. 21-17 UConn. 5 minutes to go in the first. The Huskies now 8 of 22 from the field. Right sideline. It's Castle to our right. Kicks it back to Spencer. He gives it up to Newton. Newton back to Spencer, right wing. Being chased by Mark Armstrong up the screen of Klingon. Stop and go move by Spencer. Gives to Castle in the corner. The 3 rolls in and out. And the rebound, Justin Moore. Castle now 1 for 4 from 3. Here's Moore in the front court. He attacks Spencer. Posts him up in the paint. Kicks it back outside. They work the perimeter to Lance Ware. Now in the hands of Bamba. He attacks Castle in the paint. Up fake. And blocked by Castle. Newton has it. And they're on a run out. They might have numbers. They go to Castle. And Castle is blocked at the rim. And he'll get 2 free throws. He wanted to dunk it. And now he has to go to the line to earn them as the foul is called on Villanova.
That's pretty impressive. He blocked it at one end, his second block of the game, and then sprinted down the court and was there to finish things off at the other end. And he goes to the line to shoot a couple of free throws now, where he's hit 11 of his last 13.
Castle on the line to shoot 2. And the first one is up. That one's good. Steph struggled the last 2 ball games. 4 of 16 from the field after going 15 for 21 in the previous 2. So he's been up and down. He is a rookie. He's a freshman. You don't really expect that from him.
Mark Armstrong
and you're getting that.
Committed the foul, his first.
All right, Castle with another chance. You come by 5. 4:15 to go. Diarra set to check in. Samson Johnson's come in. Castle makes them both. Diarra will come in for Castle. Castle leaves with 6 points. 2 field goals, 1 of 3, and 2 free throws. And Diarra will come in. UConn full court pressure. 7 points for Castle after the second free throw went in. And here is Bamba, top of the 3-point arc. He's guarded by Spencer. Faces up, puts it on the floor, attacks physically, taken away by Spencer, and a foul is called.
I think the crowd was looking for a travel on that. There was about 4 steps in there, but they're going to say the contact by the foul is why he had to take extra steps. Well, Coach Hurley says what I'm saying. He says there was a travel on that. I really thought he took way too many steps. Spencer gets his first foul.
Well, besides that, it was an offensive foul, but that's all right. It wasn't called.
Oh, that again.
Yeah, that again. Here's Longino, right wing, guarded by Caravan, puts it on the floor, tries to attack him in the paint, stops, nowhere to go, and tried to put it up, and Caravan blocked it. And here comes Spencer on a run out. He gives to Newton, right wing, back to Spencer. Spins to his left outside the arc, can't get the shot off, and gives it back to Newton. 20 to shoot. They go down low to Caravan, and Newton threw it away. Turns it over. And that brings us to the under 4-minute time. 4 turnovers by the Huskies.
None for Villanova.
3:40 left in the first half. Skip the yo-yo dieting. Lose your weight for the last time with Awaken 180. You'll see results every week. And after reaching your goal, receive free support for life online at Awaken180weightloss.com. 23-17 Huskies. 3:40 to go in the first half. They lead by 6 over Villanova. From Brown, Painteras, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The exclusive home of the Huskies. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Did you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Dunking's iced coffee with French vanilla swirl, vanilla shot, sweet cold foam, and cinnamon sugar topping. Order the whole Dunking's menu on the app for the Dunking's iced coffee, or pop into your local Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms applied. Tomorrow night in Chicago, the UConn women looking to wrap up the regular season Big East Championship with a win at DePaul. Bob Joyce, Deb Fisk have all the action beginning at 5:30 here along the UConn Sports Network and the Varsity Network app and the VarsityNetwork.com.
DePaul was a once mighty team in the Big East, but they're 12-16 this year, 4-11 in the league, and they got clobbered by UConn earlier this year, 88-51. Cam Spencer had the first game of this season without making a three. On Tuesday at Creighton, he was 0 for 3, but he's been able to create a couple of threes in this game. He's 2 for 4 from the floor, all from three-point range. He's got 6. Steph Castle has 7 points for the Huskies. Meanwhile, UConn baseball lost again today out at Cal Berkeley. High-scoring game. Berkeley got out to a 6-0 lead early on and eventually beat the Huskies 15-12. UConn had a lead last night before losing 8-4 at Berkeley. So the Huskies now 2-3 early on the baseball season, but it's still early. I think they're going to be pretty good this year.
They got a lot of returning players from last year, and they got some new young arms, and they got some returning starters as well on the Hill. Back to Spencer for a second. 3 for 8, only 6 points at Creighton. It's just the 5th time he's been in single digits all year. Here's a drive to the right by Hakeem Hart. He blocked again. I think Caravan got him. It's in the hands of Newton. Back to Spencer, right wing, long 3. Got it! Oh! The smooth operator. Buried it. Back the other way. Villanova. Armstrong dumps it down low to Dixon. Working on Spencer, rather on Johnson. Has to kick it back outside to Bamba. Now Armstrong, crossover, attacking Newton. He banks it up, missed it. Rebound Johnson. Hands over to Newton, and Newton has the ball stolen from behind, and here come the Cats. Bamba catches and dunks off the fast break as Newton got his pocket picked from behind. That stops the bleeding for a moment. It's 26-19 UConn.
That's 5 turnovers for UConn, 2 on Tristan Newton.
Spencer leading the way with 9 now. Here's Spencer on the left sideline of Newton. Newton up the high screen of Caravan, starts right between the rings. He's got the left-hand dribble. Starts back to his right, guarded by T.J. Bamba. On the high post, handoff and a bounce to Samson Johnson. Johnson with a handoff to Diarra. He curls right, fires in the left corner to Caravan for 3. No good, front rim. And rebounded by the Wildcats.
3 on the shot clock when that shot was launched.
There's Bamba, front court left. Pulls up, gives it up to Housen. He can't get the shot off. Bamba, they work the perimeter to Armstrong on the right sideline. Now he turns and fires. He missed it. And a rebound, Caravan. That was a triple. Rebounded by Spencer. Or Caravan off the handoff to Spencer. And Newton for 3. Got it! And so the Huskies force a timeout with 1:51 to go. And they extend their lead double digits. First time tonight. 29-19. UConn's got 6 threes. That's more than they had the whole night against Creighton in Omaha on Tuesday.
And they've suddenly found the range from 3, as 3 of the last 4 UConn field goals have been outside the arc. Spencer, and now Newton. I don't know if they're going to call it a fast break or not, but they clearly got down the court before the Villanova defense was set. Huskies have 10 fast break points to 2 for Villanova. The one that I really liked a couple of plays ago was that 3 by Spencer. Came off the 3rd block by Caravan. He's been very good with his interior defense tonight.
29-19 UConn. They only made 3 threes in Omaha. They got burned by the Blue Jays for 14 threes. They've only given up 1 tonight, 1 of 9 by Villanova outside the arc. 18 of UConn's 26 shots, how about this, have been from three-point range.
And then 14 made threes on Tuesday, came on 28 shots. By far a season high as far as three-point percentage by a UConn opponent, 50%. Huskies have been really good the prior 6 games from 3, not Tuesday.
All right, here's Justin Moore, front court left, picked up by Newton on a switch. Base foul line extended right, trying to post up, driving inside on Newton, and a foul is called on Newton. That's just a 4th team foul on the Huskies, the 1st on Newton.
Justin Moore, a great player, but he's been injury-prone throughout his Villanova career, blew out his Achilles, and then last year his knee. He's still not 100%. He's not the player he was, but he can still create a shot.
No question. And he tries to inbound on the baseline to our left, and he has to kick it out in the backcourt. Caught by Hakeem Hart there, the senior guard from Philly.
70-foot inbound pass.
And he drives it to the left side and gives it up on the left sideline to Bamba. Bamba trying to attack Castle, nowhere to go. Kick it back outside of Dixon. They work the perimeter. There's Hart with it. Hart trying to drive it inside. They're down to 2. They got to shoot it. Dixon fires and hits. He beat the shot clock by a split second. 29-21. UConn by 8. Minute 10 left in the first. Caravan out front. Backs away and hands to Spencer. A high post bounce pass to Klingon. Facing up against Dixon. Hands it over to Caravan. Caravan skips it over to Spencer. Spencer dribbles behind Klingon's screen. Gives it in the near corner to Castle. They back it away with 7 to shoot. They got to hurry. Here's Newton. He's working on Bamba, and he's in trouble. And he fades away, and he makes it. Elbow 15-footer by Newton. Cool hand Newton delivers. 31-21 UConn. Dixon front court on the right sideline, and he hands it over to Bamba. 30 seconds left, 19 to shoot. Bamba on the right sideline, skips it over to Hakeem Hart. Wants to bounce it down low to Justin Moore on the baseline right. Tries to dig his shoulder, and they double him. They work the perimeter. The Cats get it to Bamba in the near corner. He fires. It's no good. It's tipped up by Klingon. Saved by Newton, and Spencer's got it. And UConn with 9 seconds left in the half. Here comes Spencer off the high screen of Klingon. Thought about shooting. He gives to Castle, who drives, and Castle trying to lay it up, but he's fouled with a split second left in the half. No foul. They wave it off. Maybe the buzzer went off. He did get fouled, but they did not call it. And we go to the locker room. UConn with a 10-point advantage, 31-21.
And coming up next at halftime, we'll talk to Richard Hamilton.
All right, Rip Hamilton and Wayne Norman. When we return, stay with us. UConn by 10. The KeyBank Halftime Report with Zach Linfield is next, presented by Brown Paint Harris and Scott. This is UConn basketball from Learfield.
Out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Laz Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Laz Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Laz Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts, as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
"20 minutes are in the books. This is the KeyBank Halftime Report. KeyBank is the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Coming up, we'll recap the first half and check scores from across the country. Now, let's go to the Learfield Network studios.
Welcome to the KeyBank Halftime Report. UConn enters the break ahead of Villanova 31-21. Zach Linfield with you from the studio. Before we hear from Husky legend Rip Hamilton, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Huskies basketball from Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott. As Mr. Rip Hamilton is introduced at Gamble Pavilion, let's hear from him. Wayne Norman alongside the legend Rip Hamilton.
His number 32 is about to be retired here at the University of Connecticut, and that ceremony is going on pretty soon. Rip Hamilton, what are your emotions going to be when they take that blanket off of that number 32 and you see that up there for the first time?
Oh, man, I'm going to try to keep all my emotions in. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be special, exciting time that I'm able to share that with some of the greatest fans in the world. A lot of this wouldn't have been possible without them. I think the biggest thing for me is my kids get to see it, right? Because they look at me as just dad. They, as much as I tell them, hey, you know what, go pull up my highlights in Google, they still don't do that. So this is a great moment for the Hamilton family.
What was it that made you decide UConn was the place, since you could have gone anywhere you wanted?
You know what? I knew my goal was to play in the NBA. And I had to put myself in a position where that if I do my part and work my ass off, I needed somebody, a coach like Coach Calhoun, to help me get there. But I also felt as though that if I never got an opportunity to play in the NBA, this is like playing in the NBA. Like, I mean, it's the only show in town. Like, that amazed me when I first got here, because when they was explaining it to me, I didn't realize it, but once I got here and got the feeling, I thought this place was special.
When you saw last year's national champs, did you see them and think, we had something to do with that?
You know what? It's like we were definitely the first, and we wanted to do it for the guys that came before us, the Chris Smiths, the Cliff Robinsons, the Ray Allens, the Danielles of the world. Like, Coach ain't never won one. Like, that was our motivation, right? And once we did it, our thought was, man, we just want to inspire the next group to come in and do the same thing, and they absolutely did that.
Rip, you got plenty of three-pointers in your career, but you also made a living off that little 15-foot curl.
Yes.
Is that a lost art these days? People look for threes now. They don't look for those plays anymore.
Yes, yes, it's definitely a lost art. But you know, I figure different ways and different angles to try to dominate the game, knowing that I only weighed 180-something pounds. So I had to get my shot off quick. I had to keep people off balance. A lot of that was learned from here. Coach Hobbs, every day doing different drills with him to try to be better and better of trying to get my shot off.
People remember the 27 points in the national championship game when you shocked the world beating Duke, but talk about how important beating Gonzaga in the Elite Eight was after 3 failed attempts in the Elite Eight earlier that decade.
Probably the most scariest game in the NCAA tournament because we wanted it so bad. And when you got a team that was still a little unknown, right, you're going to take their best hit. And we wanted to get over the hump because Coach ain't never made it to the Final Four, and we lost in the Elite Eight the year before that. So it was tough. I probably think that was probably the toughest game of the whole tournament that year.
3-time NBA All-Star, 2004 NBA champ with the Pistons. I get the feeling, though, that UConn 99 championship is still number one on your list.
Absolutely, I think so, because it's hard to win an NCAA championship, right? Because you can't lose. You can't have a bad night. One bad night, you out.
No best of 7.
No best of 7 at all. And I used to tell guys in the NBA locker room that all the time, like, hey, man, that is one of the toughest things that you had to accomplish, knowing that that was the case.
Rip, you're doing great work with CBS television right now, but these days, since you're done playing, it's all about the family and the 3 kids, isn't it?
That's all it's about. You know, my wife and my family, I mean, they sacrificed for me so much as a player. So now, understanding that the most important time in a kid's life is from when they come out the womb until they're 12 years, 13 years old. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be a part of every special moment. I didn't want to miss anything. So I just want to be dad.
Rip, welcome back. Congratulations on number 32. Good to see you again, my friend.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Richard Hamilton, number 32 at the University of Connecticut. More of our halftime coming up from Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball from Learfield.
All movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-healed, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Keeping you ahead of severe weather is the most important thing we do. Hi, I'm Channel 3 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon.
And I'm Meteorologist Scott Haney. We're doubling down on our commitment to you with something you won't see anywhere else. First Alert Weather.
It's our promise to alert you as far in advance as possible.
Simply put, when we know, you know.
So you have more time to plan, prepare, and to keep your family safe.
This is why we First Alert.
Dun Kings. Boston just birthed the biggest man-boy band of now time. They're fearless, a little reluctant, and creating a whole new genre of music for the year 24. This is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. Oh yeah, these guys are almost pop music with a sound fueled by the Dun Kings iced coffee. Iced coffee with a French vanilla swirl, vanilla shot, sweet cold foam, and cinnamon sugar topping. Order the whole Dun Kings menu on the app for the Dun Kings iced coffee. Or pop into a local Dunkin' and don't forget to add the Munch Kings skewer. Dun Kings. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Welcome back to the KeyBank Halftime Report. Zach Linfield back with you for a scan of the top 25. Halftime score, UConn 31, Villanova 21, as the Huskies look for a rebound after their Tuesday night loss in Omaha. For the scoreboards, the Big East featuring two other games on the slate today. Currently, Seton Hall has jumped out to an early 16-6 lead at the Prudential Center. That's against Butler at the under-12 timeout in half number one. Final score from the Windy City, Georgetown sneaks out of Wintrust Arena with a 77-76 win over DePaul. The Blue Demons remain winless in conference play. Inside the polls, a couple of games that are still moving. Number 5, Tennessee owns a 37-27 halftime edge in Knoxville against Texas A&M. That's in the SEC. Two other games out west. Also at the pause, 22nd rated Colorado State leads UNLV in Vegas 26-24 in the Mountain West Conference. And in Tempe, Arizona State outpacing number 21 Washington State from the Pac-12 36-29. Couple of final scores from inside the polls, most notably one down in Texas, the Lone Star State. That's where number 2 Houston would beat number 11 Baylor in Waco 82-76 in an extra period. Upset from just down the street. From the studios, Wake Forest knocks off 8th-ranked Duke on a Tobacco Road battle, 83-79. One of the game has gone final. That's number 9 Kansas knocking off Texas handily, 86-67. Wayne Norman is next with the first half stats after this word from our network sponsor. Stick with us on the KeyBank Halftime Report. Huskies 31, Wildcats 21. You're locked in on UConn men's basketball from Learfield, presented by Brown, Painderis, and Scott.
Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Looking to score a home run in the real estate game? Look no further than Lewis Real Estate. We're not just about the commission. We're about giving back to the community. With below market fees and personalized attention, we're the advocate you need in your corner. Don't settle for less. Choose Lewis Real Estate and make your real estate dreams a reality. Visit the Lewis Business Center, conveniently located at 994 to 1000 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford. That's SLewisRealEstate.com, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics.
Halftime at Gampel, UConn equaling its biggest lead, 31-21 over Villanova. The Huskies shot 39% in the first half. Villanova shot 30%, and the Huskies out-rebounded the Wildcats 24-14. UConn led by Cam Spencer's 9 points on 3 made threes. Tristan Newton, 8 points, 8 rebounds, while Eric Dixon has 8 points to lead Villanova. 31-21, second half coming up from Brown, Painderis, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Keeping you ahead of severe weather is the most important thing we do. Hi, I'm Channel 3 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon.
And I'm meteorologist Scott Haney. We're doubling down on our commitment to you with something you won't see anywhere else. First Alert Weather.
It's our promise to alert you as far in advance as possible.
Simply put, when we know, you know.
So you have more time to plan, prepare, and to keep your family safe.
This is why we First Alert.
The tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/collegesportsradio23.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Connecticut.
Tonight's game sponsor is Miller Lite. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman, back courtside with Chris Antonio. That was a nice ceremony for Rip Hamilton, Jim Calhoun with some great words of wisdom as usual, and then Rip, as they put the jersey up there and the Raptors, very appreciative of his UConn career. Great interview, by the way, at halftime, too.
Thank you. He's such a classy guy. I've known him since the day he came to the University of Connecticut, and he was joined out there at center court by his teammates Kevin Freeman, Jake Voskel, Suleiman Wan, and Edmund Saunders.
All right, Justin Morrill inbound right in front of us. We start the second half. 31-21, UConn, good defense. First half, 1 for 10 by Nova from the three-point arc, 9 of 30 overall.
I should mention he was also joined by Jim Calhoun and Rip Hamilton's wife and 3 kids. Can't leave them out.
No, you can't. There's Mark Armstrong with it. Hands it over to Hart. They work out to Eric Dixon, top of the arc. He starts to his right off a switch. Spencer picks him up. Now Dixon attacking Klingon. Kicks it back outside to Armstrong. They work the perimeter. Bomba down to Dixon on the right wing. Back to Hart. Hart kicks to Dixon. Fires a 3 in and out. And a rebound tipped in the hands of Newton. And Newton's got 9 rebounds now. Caravan to Spencer. Fires a 3. It's short. And rebounded by Bamba.
First miss by Spencer.
Yeah, left corner 3, no good. Here's Bamba quickly to the front court. Gives to Dixon. He'll try another 3. That one in and out. Rebound Caravan.
They're 1 for 12 from 3.
Newton front court left at the hash. Dribble penetration. Goes to a fadeaway. Short. Rebounded by Armstrong. About a 15-footer. About 14 feet. Here's the attack by Armstrong. He lays it up and he missed it. Ran down the left side of the lane. Couldn't get it to go. Castle brings it into the front court left. Dan Curley wants to stop the chaos for a moment. A lot of shots going up, but none going in the opening minute.
Much like the first minutes of the first half.
They dub it down on a Klingon, and Klingon is fouled. He went with the left hand. Could have dunked it, but 2 men got in his way, so Klingon's got to earn it at the free throw line.
Eric Dixon picks up his second foul. Klingon was double-teamed by Bamba and Dixon inside.
Klingon the other night, Wayne, I was looking at this, and it really surprised me. He played 26 minutes against Creighton. That was just the 5th time this year he's played 26 minutes or more. He is not playing massive minutes like we thought he would, right? When the season began, we said, Klingon's got to play 30 minutes. Well, he hasn't done that. Makes the first free throw off the front rim and in.
He took no free throws in that game against Creighton. Of course, he had early foul trouble limiting his minutes. First time he'd taken no free throws since the first game here against Creighton.
All right, he makes them both. Klingon's got 7. And UConn's lead is 33-21. Minute 15 into the second half. Justin Moore will play the point guard. Across the timeline, left to right. Crossover, starts to his right. He's got to get Newton, trying to post him up in the paint. He spins one way, second way, missed the layup. Rebound Klingon. Klingon helped on D. Here's Spencer. Kicks to Castle. Step back 3 by Castle. No good. And a rebound knocked out of bounds by Caravan.
Not a bad shot, though, by Castle. He was wide open on the left side. You got to take that shot. He made his first 3 of the game, but since that time, he has gone 0 for 4.
Yeah, just 2 for 8 on the night for Steph, 7 points. UConn by 12, 18-15 to go here in the ball game. Hand it over to Hakeem Hart. On the left sideline to TJ Bamba, guarded by Castle, up a high screen by Dixon, gives back to Dixon. He gets Klingon off his feet, he drives inside, and he lays it in. Klingon left his feet, and Dixon blew right by him for a layup. And Dixon now leading the way for his team with 10. Here's Spencer, front court left, out front to Castle. UConn shooting at the basket where their own bench is. Castle now, he's guarded by Bamba. Fires it right to Spencer. Spencer behind the high screen of Klingon. Little stop and go move in the paint by Spencer. Can't get the shot off. Has to fire it back out to Caravan. Caravan gives to Newton. They go down low to Klingon. Klingon spins to the left hand and he banked it in. That's a great find by Newton. Time running out. He got it to the big guy. And the big guy delivered. Klingon now with 9. UConn has 3 men, 8 points or more. Klingon with 9. Spencer with 9. Lead the way. 35-23. 17:15 to go. Here's a drive by Bamba. And he lays it in, and he's fouled by Castle. And he'll get a chance for a 3-point play. And Dan Hurley takes a seat on the bench. You don't see that very often. He spun around. He didn't like what he saw, and he's going to sit down before he says anything.
That's first foul on Steph Castle, defending TJ Bamba, who came out of Washington State, where he played 4 years. Averaged 16 points a game last year.
And he's 8th all-time in the Washington State annals. 3-point play. 35-25, UConn by 10. 3 minutes gone by in the second half. Here's Newton against full court pressure. Skips it left to Caravan. 35-26 the score. Here's Castle now to Caravan on the right sideline. Out front to Klingon. Left wing to Newton. Newton now fires up front to Spencer, who turns and fires a 3, and he hits! Great look by Newton again. And Spencer, 4 for 7 from distance. UConn by 12, 38-26. This is Armstrong, skips it over to Dixon, doesn't shoot it, gives it back to Armstrong, goes behind his back, stolen by Klingon. It ends up in Dixon's hands. Along the baseline right, he digs the right shoulder in, trying to work him. And puts it up, missed it, tipped, Klingon got the rebound, big fella raced it, and here comes Spencer, 4 blocks, Newton triple, no good, back rim, rebounded by Justin Moore. Moore hands over to Bamba. Bamba streaks into the front court, tries to shoot it over Klingon, and he's able to lay it in left-handed. What a finish by Bamba. And Bamba now with 11 points. 5 of 11. He's the leading scorer. He and Dixon have 21 of the team's 28.
Almost all of his 5 field goals have been on drives to the hoop.
Castle hands to Caravan, who's been really quiet in this game. He gives to Spencer on the right sideline at the hash, sets him a screen. Spencer now gives to Newton. Newton out front to Klingon, back to the basket. Klingon spins to his right, gives it up on a bounce to Caravan, stolen. And here comes Armstrong streaking down the lane, and he dunks it. Armstrong with a steal and finish. And that gets the Villanova bench off their feet. 38-30 UConn. Castle with it as Villanova goes into a matchup zone for a moment. Caravan for 3, no good, short left. Rebound Dixon, that came off the left wing. He gives it out to Armstrong. Armstrong into the paint. Kick back Dixon. Long 3 by Eric, and that's good. So a triple and a fast break deuce, and now Villanova back within 5, 38-33. As Dixon's got 13. He's taken 16 shots.
And they've
timeout, Dan Hurley.
They've hit 5 of their last 6 shots from the floor. Just their second made 3 of the game, though, 2 for 13.
So the timeout, the under 16, we will take it. UConn basketball presented in part by UConn Health, the official healthcare partner of the UConn Huskies. 38-33, UConn leads Villanova. From Brown, Payne, Darris, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
All movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-healed, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
The UConn Huskies are on the air. This is UConn men's basketball. Now, back to our Big Y broadcast location.
Mitchell Chief is Connecticut's newest chief retailer at their all-new state-of-the-art dealership, offering exceptional customer service to the community for over 100 years. That's a century-long relationship for Mitchell Chief. UConn by 5 now. The beauty of the three-point shot, you can get back in the game pretty quick, as Villanova is finally able to hit a couple. And Dixon is leading the way with 13 points. He and TJ Bamba have 24 of the team's 33 for the Wildcats.
Huskies have built their biggest lead of the game at 12 a moment ago, 38-26, and then the 7-0 run by Nova, which has hit its last 3 and 5 of the first 6 after they missed their first 4 shots of the half. Dixon's been the main man for the Wildcats. He's got 13. Bamba has 11, mostly on drives of the hoop. Spencer's got 12 for UConn. Klingen's got 9 points and 4 rebounds. And Tristan Newton, who's back in the scoring lead for the team. For a while, Spencer had taken over the scoring lead, but now Newton, the leading scorer, rebounder, and assist man on this team on the season. He's got 8 points and 9 rebounds. He's 1 rebound away from back-to-back double-double games in the rebounding department. In fact, that 12 rebound game he had at Creighton was a season high. He did everything that game. The problem is nobody else helped.
He has 5 assists as well tonight. UConn inbounds front court left to Newton. Newton, a left-hand dribble guarded by Moore. They switch, and they cover him with Jordan Longino. They skip it to Spencer into the paint, double team. Can't get a shot up. Now he fires and hits. Little 12-footer in the paint. He made an adjustment in midair, Spencer, and now he's got 14, and UConn leads by 7, 40-33.
His first 2-point basket of the night.
All right, Moore on the right sideline to our right, guarded by Newton, trying to post him up, drives him down, skips it across court in the hands of Lance Ware. Now steal by Diarra, and Diarra on a run out, and Diarra will lay it up and in. So UConn 42-33.
That was Villanova's first turnover of the game.
All right, front court right, Longino, guarded by Spencer, spins to his right, outside the arc, now goes the left-hand dribble, into the paint, pull up 15-footer by Longino is good. So the answer by the Wildcats cuts the lead back to 7, and Longino has his first bucket of the game. Diarra, front court left at the left hash, guarded by Hausen. Right-hand dribble. Starts to his right, a screen by Newton. Keeps his dribble. Fires it left to Caravan. It turns and fires, and Caravan misses. He's struggling tonight. 0 for 5, 0 for 4 from three-point range. Here's Moore. Drives into the paint. Lost it, regains it. Now he attacks Newton on the left baseline. Trying to post him up. Spins inside. Goes to a little fadeaway and makes it. So Justin Moore now has 7, and the lead cut back to 5 again, 42-37.
And they've hit 7 of their last 8 shots.
They're on a roll, including 5 in a row. Here's Caravan, front court. Left over to Diarra. Starts left on the drive, back out front to Spencer. Spencer backs away from the defense of Longino. Puts up a fadeaway, and he made it on the baseline. And he's fouled.
So the Huskies answering right back after that hoop by Moore, making it a 4-0 run. Making a big shot by Spencer again. 2 of the last 3 UConn field goals are by Spencer, who's been taking the ball inside after the threes in the first half.
So, timeout. 13:01 to go. UConn lead back to 7. Spencer with a chance to make it 8 when we come out of the timeout. UConn basketball presented in part by Johnson Brunetti, proud to be the official wealth management provider of the UConn Huskies. From Brown, Payne, Darris, and Scott, 44-37. UConn, 13:01 to go. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Home run in the real estate game? Look no further than Lewis Real Estate. We're not just about the commission. We're about giving back to the community. With below market fees and personalized attention, we're the advocate you need in your corner. Don't settle for less. Choose Lewis Real Estate and make your real estate dreams a reality. Visit the Lewis Business Center, conveniently located at 994 to 1000 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford. That's SLewisRealEstate.com, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics.
Huskies live here. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Orthopedic Associates of Hartford, with locations throughout Greater Hartford, including walk-in urgent care. Make your move at oahct.com. Points in the paint now 20-14. Villanova. They've led that category throughout. And as you know, under the basket is Prime Real Estate. Points in the paint brought to you by Lewis Real Estate, the exclusive real estate company of UConn Athletics. Looking to buy or sell? Call 860-404-2655.
After Donovan Klingon scored the first 4 UConn points of the second half, the guards have gotten it done for UConn. Spencer a 3, 2 twos. He gets a free throw coming up here. And Hassan Diarra steal and fast break for the only Villanova turnover of the game. And it's amazing that with only 1 turnover, right now they're down by 7. And a moment ago they were down by just 5, 42-37. But that's in part because they've shot the ball so well, leading 7 of the last 8. Let's cross the way up on the Raptors, and I see Jim Calhoun, 873 wins. Well, it was on tomorrow's date in 2009. UConn was a 93-82 winner over number 8 Marquette. In that game, Jim Calhoun became the 7th Division I men's basketball coach to reach 800 career victories, going on to 873.
All right, Spencer on the line. Spencer, 8 times now this season. He's made 4 more threes. He's 4 for 7 in this game. Chance for a 3-point play with the 7 minutes gone by in the half, and he makes the free throw.
And he's made 30 straight free throws.
17 points for Spencer. 45-37 UConn, 8-point advantage. They're up by 10 at halftime. Here's Justin Moore, front court right, guarded by Spencer. 1 bounce pass over to TJ Bamba on the left hash. He attacks Newton in the paint, trying to power his way in. And now he's got nowhere to go. Backdoor cut. He tried to pass it to Longino, and he kicked it out of bounds. UConn's done a pretty good job of defending in the paint, even though I just said they've scored 20 points in the paint. This Villanova team likes to get in the paint on you.
And that's their second turnover.
All right, here's Diarra, and he kicks to Jalen Stewart on the paint. He got his shot blocked. Comes loose, and Longino comes up with it. And some more front court right outside the arc to Bamba. Now Dixon on the left wing at the left hash. He's trying to post up. Samson Johnson driving him down into the paint. Digs over left shoulder in. Spins against the double team. Blocked. And a late call. Oh, Johnson did just about everything right that time. And Dixon will go to the line here to shoot 2.
Not many fouls have been called in this game. A total of 11. 6 against UConn, 5 against Villanova, and that's just the second foul on Samson Johnson. Only Husky with 2 fouls. Only one Villanova player has 2 fouls, and that's their leading scorer, Eric Dixon.
All right, Dixon, 87% from the line. He's excellent there. And the first one is up. That one's good.
He's made 15 straight.
He's exceeded his average. Oh, he's close, pardon me. He's got 14. He averages 16. He's taken 16 shots, only made 5. 1 of 6 from 3. Made all 3 of his free throws. 45-38, UConn with the lead. And Dixon's second one is up. That one's good. Eric Dixon from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania.
Villanova's 5 for 5 from the line. They lead the nation in free throw percentage.
All right, Newton across the timeline, guarded by Justin Moore. Starts to his left. They double him for the moment. Gives it up on a bounce to Samson Johnson. Top of the key, and a hand up to Spencer. They double the ball there. Spencer kicks it to Jalen Stewart for 3, and Stewie missed. And a rebound Dixon, and a foul on Samson Johnson. And that's 3 now, and that gets us to the under 12-minute timeout. So, 6-point lead for UConn. And Klingen's got to come back in. Big Y, the official broadcast booth sponsor of UConn Sports Network, supports all our local teams. Big Y, your family market. It's more than food, it's supporting local. From Brown, Payne, Darris, and Scott. UConn 45-39, 11:51 to go. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Game plan, a well-executed play, or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Eric Hogarth. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now, we're proud to be the official wealth management partner of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
Dun Kings, Boston just birthed the biggest man-boy band of now time. They're fearless, a little reluctant, and creating a whole new genre of music for the year 24. This is Mike Crispino, voice of the Huskies. Oh yeah, these guys are almost pop music with a sound fueled by the Dun Kings iced coffee. Iced coffee with a French vanilla swirl, vanilla shot, sweet cold foam, and cinnamon sugar topping. Order the whole Dun Kings menu on the app for the Dun Kings iced coffee. Or pop into a local Dunkin' and don't forget to add the Munch Kings skewer. Dun Kings, America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer, terms apply.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by KeyBank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
Come join the Datco team at datco.com/jobs. Datco, UConn's exclusive transportation partner. No one gets you closer to the game than SiriusXM College Sports Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis, off-season, regular season, postseason. We got your team covered anywhere you go. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.us/College Sports Radio 2023.
So the second half, Villanova's outscored UConn 18-14. The Huskies had a 10-rebound edge at halftime. It's now down to 7. So Villanova's shooting the ball better, rebounding better. They had no first-half turnovers. They've got only 2 in the game now, both in the second half. Season low for turnovers by a UConn opponent this year is 6. The home St. John's game for UConn and the Texas game at Madison Square Garden were 6. And then just on Tuesday night, Creighton had 7. So we've gone over 1.5 halves of basketball this week, and UConn's opponents have a total of 9 turnovers. That's pretty low.
Yeah, and when Villanova out-rebounds a team, they are 10-3 this year. And when they outscore you off their bench, they're 14-7. They haven't gotten much off the bench here today. Longino scored 2. That's been it.
They gave UConn a pretty good battle on the glass in the game at Philadelphia back on January 20th, 30-30. Not many teams stay even with UConn on the glass. Huskies, of course, won that game 66-65, thanks in part to a meaningless three-pointer at the buzzer by Mark Armstrong.
Meaningless to some. but maybe not to others.
Yeah.
It made it a 1-point game. Should have been a 4-point win.
Well, it was at the buzzer. The people that matter to are the bettors.
Of course. All right, so it's going to be Villanova to our left. Jordan Longino. UConn puts pressure on the ball, and they get it into Justin Moore.
Clinging back in after the third foul on Johnson.
And he walks it across the timeline with Newton on him. He hands it off out front to Longino. Starts to his right, back to his left. Looks to give it up to Bamba. He's got DR on him. He drives it right. Bamba to the basket, lays it up, and a foul is called on Huskies. Don't know who it is.
I thought Klingon got it.
Oh, yeah, it is Klingon.
Once again, Bamba drives the lane. That's what he's been making a living out of today. I was looking over the UConn bench, and Jalen Stewart was rubbing his right knee. Keep an eye on if that's a factor so far for the UConn freshman.
So that puts Bamba on the line. Villanova, true to form, 5 for 5 from the line. UConn 6 of 7. And Bamba makes the first.
He's hit 11 of his last 12.
They must have free throw shooting drills in their interviews with their players because for years, Villanova's been an excellent free throw shooting team.
And 4 of these guys have career highs in free throw shooting this year.
And that one, no good, off the left wing. Rebounded by Newton. Left side of the rim, rather. So 1 of 2, UConn lead 5, 45-40. Here's Spencer. Gives it up to Newton on the left hash. Guarded by Longino. Backs away from him with the dribble. Now he looks right to Spencer. Spencer turns and fires. 3-ball. He nailed it. Spencer with confidence, 48-40. Got 17 now. Here's Moore. Across the timeline. Guarded by Newton. Isolated on the right sideline. Skips it left to Bamba. He's guarded by Diarra. They work it back right. And now it's Justin Moore. Starts right over Klingon. A 3-ball. No. Batted around. And Villanova came up with it. They work it to Dixon. Perimeter. Dixon. Now down a drive to Moore. Back to Dixon on the perimeter. Longino. They get another 3. This one in and out. And that was from Tyler Burton. 2 for 14 by the Wildcats in this game. Here's Spencer. Far corner. Caravan. Not that time. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Villanova. Well, Caravan's got a lid on it for him. He's 0 for 5, and coming into the game, he had gone 4 for 16, 4 for his last 21, and now 2 for his last 14 from 3 for Alex.
And he's had clean looks, too. That was a clean look right in front of the UConn bench in the right corner.
All right, Caravan will inbound the ball as Bamba comes out, and they go to their bench, and they bring in Hakeem Hart. And they go into Castle. He's guarded by Hart at the top of the key. Skips over to Spencer. Ball over his head in the left wing. He's guarded by Armstrong. Stop and go, move on the bench. On the sideline. Ah, baby! Oh, the smooth operator. Knocks a 12-footer down, and he got fouled. He's got the entire bag of tricks opened up tonight. He got the contact, and then he put it up.
Armstrong hit him by the left baseline, and Spencer's continued to follow through. Second foul on Armstrong, and it puts one of the best free throw shooters in the nation at the line, and Spencer, 93% in Big East games.
All right, Newton comes out, Diarra comes in. Newton's played 28 minutes, more than anybody in this game. For the Huskies, that is. Spencer on the line to try to complete another three-point play. And that one's good. The one thing about Spencer, he's got a lot of pride. He did not play well at Creighton. Tonight, another story.
That's 31 straight made free throws by Spencer.
51-40, UConn by 11. Here's Armstrong trying to blow by Castle. He does. He lays it up left-handed. He missed it. Rebound Steph. And Steph from behind. They steal the ball. Caravan saves it and gives it to Spencer out of the timeline. Go left to Diarra. They get it down to Klingon. Klingon banks it in! From the left side of the lane, Diarra fed him beautifully. Crowd in an uproar. 53-40. Wildcat timeout. Kyle Neptune waving his arms around. He wants something from the officials, and he's not getting it.
8-0 UConn run gives the Huskies their biggest lead, 13.
53-40. It's a 30-second timeout. And that's what we'll have. The guys get a much-needed break. After this, they'll prepare for March. 3 games left in the regular season. Up next, Seton Hall. Next Sunday, Senior Day at Camp in Pavilion. Radio coverage with the Hart Auto Group countdown to tip at 11:30. You'll hear the Senior Day festivities live here along the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com. And next week, Tuesday night, we get together with Dan Hurley for the Men's Basketball Coaches Show. As the Huskies, we break down the week's action, look ahead to the final week of the regular season, plus hear from one of the players or one of the assistant coaches. UConn Men's Basketball Coaches Show airing Tuesday at 6. Next week, here along the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com.
Cam Spencer's season high is 25. He's got 23 right now.
All right, back in play. Moore, front court, right. He pitches it over to Tyler Burt. He hands it off to Hakeem Hart, who kicks it back to Eric Dixon. Drives into the paint, picks it up, gives it to Hart in the baseline, guarded by Diarra, trying to work him over physically. He goes underneath, and Klingon got maybe a piece. Shot missed. Rebound Spencer. Front court Spencer skips it right to Castle. Here's Caravan. No. Rebound Diarra, and he's fouled. Oh. Diarra delivering on the offensive glass. Nearly had to put back, and now he gets 2 free throws.
Well, that was Caravan, as we just identified, has been struggling. 0 for 7 overall, 0 for 6 from 3. But it was Caravan's huge three-pointer a month ago at Villanova that broke a tie and gave UConn the lead for good in what would be a 1-point win.
And Wayne, as Diarra's first free throw is good. One of the great quotes, I don't know who came up with it, shooters shoot. And he's got to keep shooting. He's 0 for. You got to keep shooting. They're going to go in. It's not going in right now. Spencer goes to the bench with 23 points. Newton back in.
We talked about Villanova players' career-high free throw shooting. Hassan Diarra is 77% coming in. That's a career high for him.
And Diarra gets them both. UConn's biggest lead, 55-40 with 9:18 to go.
10-0 run.
And Diarra, another 10-0 run. You've been chronicling that. Huskies have done that a million times. And a steal by Castle. It went off of Bamba's leg. And wait a minute. They're not going to give it to him.
Villanova ball.
I think Steph is right about that. It went off the Bamba's leg and out of bounds. The official missed it right in front of us. All right, the inbound to Bamba. Dribbles across the timeline, guarded by Castle. Starts right. Backs away at the arc on the right sideline. He tries to blow by him, and now he hit him. And Castle is called for the foul. A lot of contact. Boy, Bamba's a tough dude. So Steph Castle, and the foul is on Castle. 9 minutes to go.
Second foul on Castle. Got number 1 very early in the game.
All right, Villanova inbound to our right on the baseline. Justin Moore looking to get it in. And he finally kicks it out to the backcourt, and it's caught there by Hakeem Hart. Hart to the front court, guarded by Caravan. Starts left, kicks it right. Dixon, long three over Klingon. Back rim, no good. Rebound Newton. He's got 11. They give it to Diarra, who drives to the baseline, lays it in. Oh, what a dagger from Diarra. Junkyard Diarra. 57-40. Here's Bamba, attacks Klingon. Shot blocked. And a foul is called. Klingon is really upset. UConn by 17. Yeah, he got him. He did get him. We get to look at the replay.
Bud Donovan's been playing and avoiding foul trouble. Just his second foul of the game. And right now it's a 12-0 UConn run. That is the 20th time this year UConn has had a double-figure consecutive point run.
Bamba, free throw good. And he has 13 points.
The average is 10 a game.
Villanova, 6 of 7 from the 7 of 8, pardon me, from the line.
Bamba, who played those 4 years at Washington State, scored his 1,000th career point against UConn last month.
The second one is good. Is in and out. And on a breakout is Diarra. Diarra to the rim, lays it in. Oh, what a touchdown. Newton to Diarra for 6. It's a deuce, 59-41.
Newton very close to a triple-double.
Longino kicks it left to Dixon. Hands it over to Hart. On the left wing, they go down low to Dixon, working on Caravan. Now he spins on Klingon. He kicks to Bamba outside the arc straight away. A high screen, Bamba stop and go. Over Klingon. No! Rebound, the big man! Hands to Castle. Ahead to Newton. Newton holds, gives him the near corner. DR is going to try a jumper. No. Rebound, Longino. That was a heat check right there. 7:50 to go. Here come the Wildcats. Hart, front court left to Housen. He's been quiet. They drive it inside on Caravan, and a layup is good. And a foul is called as Hakeem Hart will try to shoot for a three-point play in just a moment. The under 8-minute timeout has been called. Media timeout. UConn's lead is 59-43. Dunk Kings coffee, iced coffee, French vanilla swirl, vanilla shot, sweet cold foam, and cinnamon sugar topping. Order the whole Dunk Kings menu on the app for the Dunk Kings iced coffee, or pop into your local Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. Price of participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply. 59-43 UConn. 7:43 to go from Brown Payne, Darris, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Family Market is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the UConn Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for two or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
If you've been injured in an accident, give yourself the Salomone Morelli advantage. Tell the insurance company you mean business. Call 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Salomone Morelli, exclusive and official personal injury law firm of the UConn Athletics. Villanova, Wayne, came in here. Last 6 games, 62 for 166 from 3. That's 37%. Tonight, 2 for 16 in this game.
You can read that?
I can. It's
amazing.
It's scratched in there.
Right,
and the last time they played UConn, they were 7 of 23. So that means they are 9 of 39 in the 2 games. That's some quick math for you.
It's all right. You can't read my stuff either. I get that. Well, it was a 45-40 UConn lead about 5 minutes ago. It's now a 14-3 UConn run. It was 14-1 before the Hart drive, and he'll get a free throw here. But once again, Hassan Diarra sparks the Huskies' offense. In that 14-3 run, he has got 6 points and assisted on another hoop by Donovan Klingon. It's been a major factor as UConn gets some comfort here as the fans feel so good.
What are we,
so
in a hockey game?
So good.
We must be in a hockey game right now.
No, I think that's a baseball game in Boston.
It could be, but they do it in hockey too. Hakeem Hart misses the 3-point play attempt off the back rim badly. Newton gets another rebound. He's got 13. We're going to have to check his career high.
With 8 points and 8 assists.
Yeah, here's Spencer out front to Castle. Castle starts left and hands it over to Newton, who spins to his right into the paint. Newton nowhere to go. Has to kick it back to Spencer. Dribble penetration. Cam puts it up. No good. And Castle, great hustle, but he steps on the baseline, and it'll be Villanova basketball.
Well, his career high in rebounding is 11, set against Indiana. His overall career high is 13, set back in his days at East Carolina.
Right, so he ties that. Here is Longino across the timeline. Front court right to Bamba. Starts to his right. Double team for the moment. He kicks to Dixon. They work the perimeter now in the far corner. It's Hart for three, and Hart misses badly. Tried to get his own rebound, and he got it. Kicks it all the way back out to the timeline, and Dixon back to Jordan Longino on the left wing. Foul line extended. Longino's jumper no good. Rebound, Samson Johnson. UConn 39-26 on the boards.
And that was a single-digit edge a moment ago by Villanova was that close, and now all of a sudden Huskies getting almost every rebound.
All right, Castle on the right hash, holds, gives it up on the bounce in the high post. Samson Johnson, they're in a weave. Newton now to Spencer, spins to his right, gives it up to Newton, puts up a tough shot, no good. Back rim, three-pointer, rebounded by Longino. And he outlets the Bamba back to Hart. Hart trying to attack Caravan. Posting well, down low. Spins one way, spins another way. Nowhere to go. Has to kick it back outside. And Bamba fires a three short. Rebound Newton. Villanova desperate for points. 6 minutes to go. Trailing by 16.
That was a rare bad shot by Newton. I think he thought there was fewer seconds on the clock. There were 10 when he put it up.
Yeah, he was looking for a foul call. Didn't get it. He starts to his right, guarded by Longino, right in front of Dan Hurley, back to Spencer. Spencer now ducks in. He's bumped. He lays it in. Smooth operator. That was beautiful.
Career high.
UConn 61-43. Now here comes Jordan Longino into the paint against Newton. Puts it up over Newton, and he's able to bank it in. Great drive by Longino. He's got 4. Newton did everything he could to stop it, but couldn't do it. 5.5 to go.
25 for Spencer, the career high.
Here is Newton outside the arc. Left, starts to his right. Guarded there by Hart. Pulls up at the right hash. Gives it back to Johnson. Gets it back. Tough defense by Hart right now. Newton backs away. Now he's down to 6. He's got to go inside. Gives to Castle for 3. Castle buries it. Steph Castle. He's got 2 from long range. You give him 10. 5 minutes to go, 19-point advantage.
9 assists for Tristan Newton.
And this crowd loving it. Here's Longino on another drive to the basket. He has to kick back outside. Dixon over Castle. Good for 3. 64-48. Tell you, the 3 ball is a great equalizer, and now they've got 3 of them, Villanova. UConn's got 9. Here's Spencer in trouble. Gives it up to Samson Johnson. High post left. Gets it back. And hands it back to Newton out near the timeline. Newton starts to his right. Guarded by Hart. He's giving him a lot of trouble. Very physical play. Newton now on the left hash with the dribble and a high post give. It's hit up in the air to Castle. Drives inside, and he tried to alley-oop it to Samson Johnson, who got fouled. He'll get 2 free throws.
I said Spencer 25 a career high. It's a season high equaling 25. He had 25 against Mississippi Valley State in the 3rd game of the year. But back in his days at Loyola, he had a 32-point game against Charleston.
All right, so Samson Johnson will go to the line.
On Gino's 2nd foul. Sampson has struggled at the line lately.
And he misses that one.
2 for his last 10 over 13 games. He's got to get free throw shooting from Donovan Klingon, who struggled all year long, but he's been better in the last couple of weeks.
All right, so Johnson gets another opportunity. Klingon's going to come back in here, I think, for Sampson.
Well, there's a reason for Sampson to miss.
That one's good, though. And Klingon will come in for Johnson. As Sampson leaves, he's got 5 rebounds. 3 points, 5 rebounds in 14 minutes. 65-48 UConn. Remember that guy we talked about and you talked about in the scouting report, Brendan Howson? He has been a non-factor. 1 shot taken.
7 points a game. Their top percentage field goal shooter in Big East play.
Bamba drives baseline on Caravan. Nowhere to go. He has to try to drive it inside. He puts up a little jump hook. He got his own rebound. He puts it up. He misses it. Klingon can't come up with a rebound. Dixon gets it. They kick it back. Here's Howson. And that one's no good. He finally got a shot at it and missed it. And it's rebounded by Newton.
3 chances, 2 offensive rebounds, no points.
14 rebounds, 15, for Newton. 9 assists, 8 points. 3:40 to go. Castle taking time off the clock. He's out at the Husky logo, guarded by Justin Moore. Kicks it on the left sideline of Newton at the hash, guarded by Bamba. Starts to his right up the high screen from Klingon. And Newton dumps it to Klingon. Ball loose. Stolen. Justin Moore has it. Ahead to Mark Armstrong. Into the paint. He tries to attack Spencer. He's on the baseline right. And Spencer is called for a foul.
All right, so Tristan Newton turned it over just now. But the Huskies are doing well when it comes to turnovers. They've only got 7 and only 2 in the second half.
That's the 7th team foul. We're going to get 1-on-1 when we come back from Villanova. 3:19 to go. Hey, Connecticut, show us your spirit, your Waypoint spirits. What's the point if it's not Waypoint? Drink Waypoint.com. 65-48 Huskies, 3:19 to go. From Brompan, Darris, and Scott, this is UConn basketball on Learfield.
The Xerox Company is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
This is UConn men's basketball. Now back to our Big Y broadcast location.
After the game, it's the Hart Auto Group postgame show. We got game highlights, reviews, final stats, and scores all coming your way. Courtesy of Hart Auto Group. Shop Hart Auto Group. We treat you like family and are only a heartbeat away. HartCars.com. Cam Spencer leading the way with 25 points after a rough go in Omaha on Tuesday night when he went 3 for 8 for 6 points. Just the 5th time this year Spencer's been in single digits. He was at Kansas, he had 6. At Seton Hall, he had 5. So Spencer rocking and rolling and getting back in the groove. 9 of 13 in this game, 5 of 8 from 3.
To your off-air question, this, if it holds up, would be the first game in Alex Caravan's 2-year career that he has been scoreless. So he's been off, but the Huskies have been on when it comes to the scoring in this game, as they've certainly found the range. The three-pointers have been able to go in of late. It was 2 years ago this week, February 22nd, Dan Hurley got his first win over Villanova, and it was courtesy of R.J. Cole, who had a 10-footer with 5.9 seconds left in. Cole took a charge from Colin Gillespie. Adama Sanogo had 20 in that game, and the Hartford crowd stormed the court. And let's hope that's the last time a UConn crowd ever storms the court.
All right, Mark Armstrong's going to go to the line here. He averages 8 points a game. Armstrong hasn't been much of a factor in this one. He's got 4. First attempt at the free throw line. UConn winning the rebounding battle 42-29. Armstrong makes the first. The 7 offensive rebounds by Villanova, not bad. UConn's got 8, but Villanova has 0 second chance points off those offensive rebounds. UConn, right, they got 11 second chance points.
They just had a third chance opportunity hoop and got no points out of it. 2 offensive rebounds.
All right, Armstrong makes the 2 free throws. 65-50. Carabana inbound. Full court pressure right now by Villanova, and they get it into Newton. They double team him ahead to Spencer. He runs across the timeline right to left, and he's on the baseline in some trouble, and he's got to call a timeout.
Well, we're on triple-double watch again for Tristan Newton. He has 8 points, 15 rebounds, a career high, and 9 assists.
All right, so 30-second timeout. Big Y broadcast location. That's where we're at here on the court side. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station ID from Brown Paint, Darris, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman, courtside as the Huskies on Rip Hamilton night, leading 65-50. Chris Chantonio, our engineers, with us as the Huskies have played well against a tough Villanova team that's won 4 of 5, 3 in a row. They're on a run trying to get into this NCAA tournament, and there's still a chance. They're among the next 4 out right now, but you still have the Big East tournament to make some headlines, and Villanova is very capable.
Well, the Huskies got lit up by Creighton. They're holding Villanova to 33% from the floor.
All right, here's Newton with it on the right sideline, and he hands it over to Castle at the right hash. Back to Newton, left wing. You got 15 to shoot. The cutter is Castle, and Castle is fouled as he went to a reverse. Thought he should have put it up first.
Well, there went number 10 assist-wise for Tristan Newton. That looked like a layup waiting to happen. Assist number 10. Instead, no assist. Castle gets free throws on the foul by Dixon, his third.
Steph's got 10 points in this game, coming off a rough couple games when he went 4 for 16. And a free throw by Steph is up and good. Starting to focus a little better at the line. He'd been, struggling there for a while, but he's a very impressive freshman player for Dan Hurley. Klingon comes out. Diarra comes in, so they're going to go small here. Caravan will play the center.
Good game by Klingon, though, as he's got 11 points and 6 rebounds in his 23 minutes. When he played Villanova a month ago, it was his second game back from the foot injury. He had 6 points and a team-high 7 rebounds in UConn's win.
All right, Castle gets them both. Don't forget, he's got all those block shots tonight. UConn's got 7 blocks as a team. Castle makes it 67-50. This is Armstrong driving down the lane, and he dunks the ball as UConn's defense just collapsed. Armstrong took advantage and rammed it home. Caravan, 2:45 to go, gets it into Castle, ahead to Spencer. Spencer sprints right. He gives to Newton. Newton puts a shot up and doesn't make it. It's rebounded by Villanova. Here comes Armstrong attacking Diarra into the paint, stripped by Diarra, and out of bounds it goes. 2:29 left.
Well, we almost had the 10th assist by Newton, but there was a foul on the play. No assist, and we almost had Newton's 10th point. So he's come that close to the triple-double range.
Brendan Housen comes back in the ball game. Let's see, Castle's coming out. Klingon's coming in as they go offensive-defensive substitution here. 2:29 to go. That's a lot of time with a 3-point field goal. Here's Justin Moore looking to get it in. Right baseline to his own bench, and he gets it in to Dixon, and he lays it in. So Villanova able to convert on an inbounds. UConn's done a good job of that this year. But that time Villanova turned the tables. So Caravan looking to inbound the ball.
Away from the ball, Diarra ran into a screen and got leveled.
Next foul by Villanova, and it's going to be bonus time for UConn. They double-team Newton. They get it to Caravan on the right sideline, back to Diarra, and they skip it back to Newton out near the timeline. And Newton is fouled by Justin Moore. So Newton will go to the line here, shoot 1-and-1.
Well, that works for the possibility of double-figure points. Just the second foul on Moore.
Yeah, it's going to be 1-and-1. And Newton goes to the line. He's been excellent throughout the season, Newton. He's been there, Wayne, 156 times. That's about twice as many as anybody on the team. How about that?
And he leads the Big East in free throw attempts and free throws made. And in the last 6 games, he's shot 90% from the line.
All right, Newton's front end is good. That's a pretty impressive number, 156 attempts coming into this game. And that's his first of this game. Diarra comes out. Castle comes back in. All right, Newton now has 9 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists. Gets another opportunity. This one is up. That one's good too. So he's got double-figure scoring, double-figure rebounds, 1 more assist, and he could have another triple-double. Here's Armstrong. Drives it hard on the right side of the lane, backs away from Spencer, gives it to Justin Moore. Moore attacks down low on a ball intercepted by Caravan. Ahead to Spencer, and he runs to the basket. He gives to Klingon, and Klingon is fouled by Justin Moore. Now talk about unselfish. Spencer on a layup. And now he's telling Klingon, you got to dunk that. Klingon is laughing. Yeah, you're right. I didn't do it.
He back passed to the trailer, Klingon, and that gave them an opportunity to foul him, and Villanova did. So Donovan has to work this from the line. The foul is on Moore. That's his third.
All right, so Klingon goes to the line here.
Just the third Villanova turnover set this possession up.
And Klingon's first one rolls in. Nice touch by the big man. He got 12. Go with his 6 rebounds. And what'd you say, 4 blocks? I think so.
For Donovan, I got 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3 by Caravan.
Yeah.
2 by Castle.
Those were all in the first half, too.
And Klingon makes the next one. So he's been good on the line tonight. Missed only 1. 71-54, minute 40 to go. UConn leads Armstrong front court to our right. Kicks it in the near corner to Bamba, guarded by Caravan. Bamba try to beat him off the dribble. Nice step back. A rainbow 3, no good. Way up for the rebound and a battle for it, and it's off of UConn ball. Villanova. It'll be UConn ball with a minute and a half to go. And now Jordan Longino will substitute.
Doesn't matter in the big picture with UConn up 71-54, but again, UConn's season low for opponents in turnovers is 6 twice, and last year's season low in turnovers was 6 in the NCAA win over Iona. Villanova's got 3 in this game.
Dan Hurley upset about something, and they're gonna. The officials are going to review something. I'm not sure what it is, but one thing about Dan, he can make a point. He can make an exclamation point.
But he can't make a midcourt
He cannot.
shot.
0 for 10 today, I heard.
On ESPN Game Day.
Goodness.
And boy, the first 3 or 4 of those didn't even come close to the backboard. He seemed to be off to the right a lot. A lot of his shots missed the rim. But
hold on.
Yeah.
You're right about that. But is it fair to have the guy come out with no warm-up and fire it up? I mean,
Rip Hamilton did it.
I know. It's Rip Hamilton.
And then they
Dan
had
Hurley, Rip Hamilton.
They had the kid from Bethel who was going to make $19,000 if he could make a midcourt shot. Well, his first couple barely got to the free throw line. You're going, this guy doesn't have the strength to get it that far. Well, with 3 seconds to go, they had a 20-second clock when he began. He drained one and got $19,000 for it.
That's tremendous.
It's more than I make doing this game tonight.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm an investment counselor.
Yeah.
You have his phone number?
I'll give him your number, Mike. Yeah.
All right, so I don't know what they're reviewing. Play under review. I don't know what we have here.
The game was just going way too fast. It was under 2 hours because they're having that many fouls in this game. UConn called for 12. Villanova called for 11. That's under the average both of these teams have.
I'm not sure. I don't know. We're not. What do we have? Now they're going to call Lamar Simpson over. They need 3 men to decide what just happened. But anyway, 25 for Spencer. Good bounce back by the Huskies.
All we know is that Bamba missed a 3 and Castle got the rebound.
UConn has out-rebounded Nova 43-30. And that's been one of the main advantages. I mean, you get a guard with 15 rebounds. I mean, that's Walt Frazier-like. Clyde used to do stuff like that way back in the 60s.
Here's 2 years ago, DePaul had 4 turnovers in the regular season finale against UConn. Villanova again's got 3.
So it's going to be UConn ball on the inbound. And he'll inbound it to the right on the baseline in their backcourt.
3 years ago, the season low was 5 by an opponent.
They get it into Castle, and they foul Castle right away. So it's the 1-1 right now. Klingon's going to come back in. Castle goes to the line. He's got a dozen points. 3rd leading scorer of the game. Klingon's got 13.
Come on, I say get the ball to Newton. Let him foul him. Then he goes to the line. But no, actually, I don't want him getting fouled. He's got 9 assists. So I got a feeling that they have a hard time getting a clean pass off because Nova's going to be fouling.
That's going to be Castle on the line. Again, 1-1. That was a 19th foul by Villanova. Castle on the front end's got it. He's 5 for 5 tonight. 5 rebounds for Castle, 12 points, and 5 for 5 on the line. UConn 72-54. UConn's been doing it on the free throw line lately. They haven't scored a field goal in 3.5 minutes. 2 free throws by Castle, 73-54. Armstrong to the front court right. Pulls up and launches a 3, short. Long rebound, Newton. Another one. He's got 16. And they hand it to Spencer. He's double teaming the backcourt back to Caravan. Caravan fires in the front court to Castle. And UConn now down to a minute 10. Away from getting back in the win column. Here's Spencer. They're trying to chase the Huskies down and get a foul, and they're not be able to do it. They dump it down low to Klingon. A fadeaway by Klingon is short.
Don't see him take that shot very often.
No, you don't. Here's Moore. Pull up three, and he hits the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Castle. 48 seconds left. Newton across the timeline, and this crowd appreciates what they just saw. Here's Spencer. Back to Newton, out near the timeline. They're trying to isolate Newton out near the timeline, and now he drives it left into the paint. He kicks to Caravan for three. Oh, there it is! His 10th assist and a triple. Caravan's done it. He snaps out of it.
He will not have his first scoreless game in 2 years at UConn.
All right, now back the other way. Bamba drives the baseline to Justin Moore, and he's fouled by Caravan. And I wonder, I think he knew he had to make that shot. Newton had to get that 10th assist, and he knocked it down.
Well, he had that dagger three at Villanova a month ago. This doesn't quite fit the dagger category.
No.
76-54. All right, so I found an opponent with 3 turnovers, and I had to go back to 2010. Villanova's got 3 in this game despite the lopsided loss, and Marquette had 3 turnovers in a win over UConn back in 2009-2010.
All right, 3 turnovers, but 42 missed shots. All right, Moore, free throw, front rim, no good, and knocked out of bounds off of Villanova. UConn's going to the bench. Rumor glue, Jaden Ross, solo ball, Jalen Stewart. They get it into Ball in the backcourt, and Ball to Jalen Stewart. Stewart trying to get out of the backcourt. He gets it to Ball into the front court, and a foul is called, I believe. Jalen Stewart's going to go to the line. So UConn will beat Villanova for a 4th straight time. Villanova's been tough on the Huskies over the years, especially in the 80s when they won 17 out of 18. Under Jim Calhoun, though, Huskies bounced back, won 27 of the next 40, and then Jay Wright was dominant when the Villanova was rolling in the Big East. And now the Huskies have won 4 in a row.
Villanova shooting 34% from the floor, and 9 of 13 from the line is 69% for the nation's leading free throw shooting team that came in 82%.
All right. And the Huskies leading right now by 23. Stewart trying to make it 24 with 12.7 left. And a free throw good. So 78-54. This long-running series have been very few blowouts. UConn 35 and 39 all-time against Villanova.
Another double-figure run, 11 points in a row.
And here's Armstrong for 3. No good, back rim. And chased down by Justin Moore. Hassan tried to shoot it at the buzzer. No good. And that is the biggest win by a UConn team over a Villanova team in the history of this series.
Equals the biggest victory margin, 24 points.
78-74.
As the game was close for about 30 minutes, and again, UConn scored the last 11 points of the game to make it 78-54. And
another one of those double-digit runs you were talking about.
Yeah, it's 21 now on the season, 2 in this game, both in the second half, as it was a stunning game for Tristan Newton. He had 10 points, 16 rebounds, and they did give him a 10th assist. Where'd that come from? That was a 9 a minute ago, and there were no field goals during that.
No,
run.
it was Caravan's 3.
Oh,
yeah,
good catch. So he gets his second career triple-double. Good catch.
Yep.
Huskies outscored Villanova 47-33 in the second half. We will get Mr. Triple-Double, Tristan Newton, coming over to visit us here momentarily.
As UConn outscores Villanova in the second half. Low-scoring first half, 31-21, but UConn puts 47 on the board in the second half. As Huskies go 13 of 28 in the second half, 46%. And Villanova 12 of 33, 36.5%. But Villanova from the arc, 3 for 24. Wow, that is some excellent defense on the perimeter by UConn in this game.
And that's been a problem for them this year. When they don't hit threes, they're a very beatable team. And that certainly is what happened tonight. And they couldn't handle Tristan Newton, who now has 4 career triple-doubles, the most of any active player in Division I.
most in UConn history, correct?
Absolutely.
And that's by far. And Tristan's going to join us here on the post-game show as UConn wins it 78-54.
His career high in rebounding had been 13 when he played at East Carolina against Memphis. Oops. But they couldn't keep him off the glass tonight.
All right, and we are joined by Tristan Newton, Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman. Now, when Alex Caraban knocked that three down, you must have told him you got to make a shot. He hasn't made a shot all night. You had 9 assists. He came through.
Yeah, I mean, AK always comes through for us. 2 years I've been here, the 2 years he's been here, he's always coming through for us. And, he always makes timely shots. So, I mean, for the game's sake, it wasn't really, necessary. But, he knew what was going on, and I appreciate him for that.
And, Tristan, a lot of your assists in this game came to Cam Spencer. He ended up with a 25-point game. Let's talk about how big he was, especially in the second half when Villanova got a little close.
Yeah, I mean, we see this every day from Cam in practice. He's like I say, he's the best shooter in the country, and he one of the best scorers in the country. So, shut up. My bad. That's my family. Sorry.
They're giving you a hard time.
But he comes through for us every day, and we need him today because we weren't scoring the ball, and he came through and scored it for us when we needed him to.
All right, in Omaha the other night, not a good night. You played pretty well, but the rest of the team didn't. So tell me about the last couple days. What'd you guys talk about? I mean, suddenly you have a loss after 2 months. You haven't lost in 2 months. You're able to bounce back here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're a championship program. We watched what we did wrong, and we fixed it in the film session. And it was a rough film session, long film session, and nobody likes to lose. So around here, we're gonna watch what we did, but we moved past it after that day. We moved past it, and we corrected what we needed to do, and we came out here and played well today.
Tristan, your career high had been 13 rebounds when you played at East Carolina against Memphis. You had 16 rebounds tonight. They just weren't boxing you out. How did you get so active on the glass?
No, I mean, it's all credit to the bigs. They box out. Like I say, every time they box out for me. And, just let me get the rebound. And us guards, we try to get rebounds so we can push in transition. And, like I said, their big was outside the paint today shooting threes. And Donovan was doing a good job contesting him. And the ball was just falling into my hands. So, really credit to my teammates for their defense.
Final question. They were 3 for 24 from outside the arc. Those other guys, Creighton, the other night, they were 14 to 28. Yeah. What changed? What did you guys do different tonight?
We focused on what we needed to do. We Blake did the three-point line. We made him go inside because we have the best shot blocker in the nation on our team. So, try to send them to him, and he's going to, they're going to miss it around him, or he's going to block it. He's going to do something. So we just focus on our matchups and make sure we didn't give up threes.
That's good strategy, by the way. All right. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tristan Newton. And the Huskies win at 78-54. And all he did was score 10, get 16 boards, as you mentioned, Wayne. That is awesome. 10 assists. I mean, this guy, when he came from East Carolina, all they said was, well, like Joe Torre, when he went to the Yankees, they said, well, clueless Joe, he can't win. He hadn't won anything in his whole career. Well, Tristan Newton has proven, guess what? I know how to play this game pretty good.
He
won a national championship.
Yeah, he likes to show up in the biggest games, too, including that national championship game. And while this may not be the biggest game of the season, he certainly willed the Huskies to a victory tonight. And I made a big deal about Villanova only having 3 turnovers, the fewest by a UConn opponent since 2010. But UConn only had 7, only had 2 in the second half when they pulled away. I thought UConn taking good care of the basketball was a big key to this game, too.
Yeah, Huskies 7 blocks. We'll talk about all the stats, but the big number is bouncing back after getting pounded on the road at Creighton, watching the Blue Jay fans storm the place. UConn bounces back in a big way, and they win at 78-54. The Hard Auto Group postgame show coming up in just a moment from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn basketball on Learfield.
Movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-healed, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
The final buzzer sounded, and it's time for the Hart Auto Group postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game with highlights, check scores from across the country, and visit with UConn players and coaches for postgame analysis. Let's go back to the Big Y broadcast location. Here's Mike Crispino.
UConn goes to 25-3, 15-2 in the conference by beating Villanova 78-54, the biggest margin, matching the biggest margin in any UConn-Villanova game in the history of the series. Wildcats dropped to 15-12. They have their three-game winning streak snapped, and they're 8-8 in the conference. Let's listen to some of the highlights. UConn led 31-21 at halftime. It was a tight ball game early on. Let's kick it off with some three-point action from Steph Castle. Goes to the high post, Klingon. Back to the basket, guarded by Dixon. Off the screen, Newton into the paint. Kicks to Castle, who fires a three, and he hits. So Steph Castle's triple starts it off, and UConn leads 3-0. And Huskies would go on to go 10 for 32 after that 3 for 18 at Omaha back on Tuesday. They got themselves back in order from distance as they win it 78-54. Now, they ran the break pretty well, too. 18 fast break points for the Huskies in this one. We got two of them for you right here. Rebounded by Newton on a run out. Diarra to the cutting Samson Johnson, who lays it in. That's our dime of the game, brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Yeah, Diarra and company working. UConn up by 2, 12-10. They would go on a 9-0 run, capped by Cam Spencer. Left wing it comes to Newton, front of the Villanova bench. Newton fires to Spencer for three, and Spencer buries it. Off the right wing, he got a great screen from Castle. UConn 17-10. Huskies were up 17-12 with 6:10 to go in the first half when Tristan Newton made one of 10 threes by the Huskies on the night. They worked the perimeter to Armstrong on the right sideline. Now he turns and fires. He missed it. And a rebound, Caravan. That was a triple. Rebounded by Spencer. Or Caravan off the hand up to Spencer. And Newton for three. Got it! And so the Huskies force a timeout with 1:51 to go. And they extend their lead double digits. First time tonight. And they will go to the locker room with a 31-21 lead. At halftime, despite shooting just 39%, but they held Villanova to 29% in the first half. And they had a 10-point lead at the break. They were plus 10 in the rebounding category, held Villanova to 1 for 10 from distance. We'll go to the second half, and Villanova came out, and they sparked a comeback led by Eric Dixon. He gives it out to Armstrong. Armstrong into the paint. Kick back Dixon. Long three by Eric, and that's good. So a triple and a fast break deuce, and now Villanova back within 5, 38-33. And they would be down 5, 40-35 in the second half when UConn went on another one of those patented double-digit runs, 12-0, led by Donovan Clingan. Caravan saves it and gives it to Spencer out at the timeline. Go left to Diarra. They get it down to Clingan. Clingan banks it in! From the left side of the lane, Diarra fed him beautifully. Crowd in an uproar. 53-40. Wildcat timeout. Kyle Neptune waving his arms around. A 20th double-digit run by the Huskies this year. Clingan hit a layup from the left side of the lane. It wasn't a layup. It was almost like a push shot that went in, and they were up 53-40. And Diarra again sparking things. He had 8 points tonight, went 3 of 6. Also had a couple of assists. He and Newton combining to give UConn a 59-43 advantage. And on a breakout is Diarra. Diarra to the rim, lays it in. Oh, what a touchdown. Newton to Diarra for 6. It's a deuce, 59-41. And Diarra, the junkyard dog, as Dan Hurley calls him, sparking the team again tonight off the bench as UConn outscored Villanova off the bench 13-4 in this one. Huskies 10 of 32 from behind the arc, and Steph Castle chipping in with a couple. Tough defense by Hart right now. Newton backs away, now he's down to 6. He's got to go inside, gives to Castle for 3. Castle buries it. Steph Castle, he's got 2 from long range. You give him 10. 5 minutes to go, 19-point advantage. And the Huskies were rolling at that point. A 19-point advantage on Villanova. The only thing left to do at that point with 5 minutes left was to find out if Tristan Newton could record his 4th career triple-double. He had double digits in rebounds. He finally got his 10th point off 2 free throws late in the second half. And it was up to Alex Caravan, really. And Caravan, Mr. Clutch, we call him Mr. Big Shot, hadn't made a shot tonight. 0 for, how about this? 0 for 6 from 3, 0 for 7 from 2-point range when Newton flipped him the ball in the final minutes. And Caravan delivered the triple-double. They're trying to isolate Newton out near the timeline, and now he drives it left into the paint. He kicks to Caravan for 3. Oh, there it is! His 10th assist and a triple. Caravan's done it. He snaps out of it.
He will not have his first scoreless game in 2 years at UConn.
Yeah, Caravan had never been shut out, and he would not shut out tonight. And Tristan Newton in the record books already with triple-doubles, gets his 4th tonight. So we'll have the stats. We'll take a listen to that. We'll take a look at those, and we'll hear from Wayne Norman. He'll talk to Dan Hurley, who's got to be pleased. Team bounced back from the shellacking they took in Omaha on Tuesday night in a big way as they beat Villanova 78-54 before another sellout here at Gamble Pavilion. Hart Auto Group postgame show continues. I'm Mike Crispino. We'll be back from Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball in Learfield.
The Xerox Company is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audio-visual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cds-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Connecticut is Husky Nation. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys! I love this song! I love these nachos. I love our kickball league! Ugh! I love this guy! What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
$10,299 on Rip Hamilton night. His jersey and number 1 up in the rafters here at Gamble Pavilion. The Hart Auto Group post-game show continues. I'm Mike Crispino along with our engineer Chris Giantonio courtside. We heard from Tristan Newton, 4th triple-double for him in his UConn career. Most of anybody in history in this program. And let's take a look at, at some of the stats. In this one, is UConn on the game, 43% from the field. They made 10 of 32 threes, 20 of 22 free throws, 91%. Meanwhile, Villanova, 21 of 63 from the field, 33%, only 3 of 24 from outside the arc. And that's just 12.5%. And they were 9 of 13 from the free throw line, 69%. In the hustle board, Villanova, 8-4 in terms of points off turnovers. They only made 3 in the game themselves. In the paint, Villanova 28-22, but UConn on the second chance points category. And Huskies had 8 offensive rebounds. They turned them in to 11 points. Meanwhile, Villanova did not score on second chance points despite having 8 offensive rebounds themselves. That was a big category. Fast breaks, 18-4 UConn. Bench, 13-4 Huskies. And the individual stats, Eric Dixon, 7 of 19 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. He had 20, added 8 rebounds. 13 for TJ Bamba is the only other man in double figures for Villanova, 5 of 16, though. So the two of those guys, 12 for 35 and 2 for 13 from three-point range. So they took a bulk of the shots, didn't make enough of them. They had 8 points from Mark Armstrong. Justin Moore had 7 in 30 minutes. 2 from Hakeem Hart, 4 by Jordan Longino. That was it. 54 points for Villanova. UConn with their 78 points, led by the 25 from Cam Spencer. 9 of 13 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. Made both of his free throws. Spencer chipped in with 4 rebounds as well. They had 14 from Steph Castle, who made a couple of threes, made all 6 of his free throws, and this one had 6 rebounds as well. And they had 13 from Donovan Klingon, who was 4 of 6 from the field, 5 of 6 from free throw line, and Klingon with a block shot. They had 3 blocks by Caravan, 2 blocks by Castle, 7 overall in the game. They had 8 points off the bench from Diarra, 3 from Samson Johnson, 2 by Jalen Stewart, 3 by Alex Caravan, the late 3 that gave Tristan Newton the triple-double. UConn wins it 78-54. We'll hear from Dan Hurley. And Wayne Norman and Zach Linfield back in our studio is going to catch you up on what's going on around the country. We're going to get Luke Murray here, so let's hang in for a second as Coach comes over. The UConn wins it 78-54. This is the Hart Auto Group post-game show. We're joined courtside by Luke Murray. Coach, nice turnaround from Tuesday in a lot of categories. What did you look at first when you said, well, we got to do something better this game?
Guard the three-point line. That performance the other night was one of the worst defensive performances in several years here. So, obviously, we needed to do a lot of work to improve that. Villanova is a really good three-point shooting team. A big percentage of their points come from the line. And, while they miss some open ones that they maybe sometimes make, I think all in all, we did a really good job of being cognizant of the shooters and holding them to 3 for 24 is big time.
Yeah, that's huge. UConn 10 threes themselves. It was unusual the other night when the Huskies, I think, made 3. So you get 10, you take 32. Is there ever a number where you say, we need to get 30 every game in terms of takes for threes?
Yeah, I mean, not exactly, but I mean, 30 is probably a pretty good number for us generally. Villanova is a team that gives up a lot of three-point shots. That's part of their defensive philosophy. Creighton is not. Creighton does as good a job as anybody in the country in terms of taking away the line. So I thought some more opportunities presented themselves for guys tonight, and obviously I think we could have shot even better with the way AK shot, but Cam I thought was huge for us. I mean, he was able to step up in a big way. Anytime it got a little bit tight, he came through with a big-time shot or an and one, and really impressive bounce back from him, who obviously was disappointed with how Tuesday night went.
Yeah, Dan Hurley in the pregame was talking about him, saying, you can't search for the perfect shot. You got to maybe create some shots, and he did that tonight on a few different occasions, getting fouled, making a couple of those baseline jumpers. I mean, when he does stuff like that, he's an even more impressive offensive player.
Absolutely. Coach and myself have been talking to Cam a lot. Even going back several weeks now, he has a hesitancy to pull the trigger on some of those tight windows. I think he'd prefer to get maybe what he considers a better shot for the team, or maybe kind of draw out the possession a little bit better. And I think for us, as you get deeper and deeper into the season, you play better and better teams. You got to have a readiness to fire. And he's a big time shooter. He's close to 50, 45, 90 on the season. I mean, he's got unreal splits. So any shot for him is a good one.
Yeah, 9 for 13, 5 of 8 from 3. My favorite numbers, second chance points, because you had 8 offensive rebounds. So did they. You had 11 points off those second chances. They had 0. Is that clinging? Is that the clinging factor? What is that?
Yeah, it is. It is. Because I think some of those shots that they got back were ones where they almost chased after it before it even got out of their hand. They knew that they had missed it and were scrambling to get the second shot, and there were some bad bounces that way. 2 of those 8 rebounds were team rebounds that were just kind of hard to get under control. But yeah, I mean, I thought we really offensive rebounded well in the second half. We didn't do that as well in the first half. We did a great job. In the second half, not so much. But they're a good defensive rebounding team. But like you said, we converted those opportunities. I thought for the most part we did a really good job on the defensive glass. We were able to get our ball movement better in the second half as well. I thought in the first half we were standing around a little bit. And they're a good defense. They come in as a top 20 defense in the country, so they make you work.
Yeah, and the fast break points 18-4, and Diarra was a big part of that. You got help off the bench tonight. 13-4. Diarra again a catalyst. When he plays like this team can be dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Hassan was terrific. We weren't happy with how he played Tuesday night. He was out there for 21 minutes and didn't get a whole lot done. But I thought today, particularly with the way that he guarded, defensively, Brandon Housen is a real X factor and a dangerous shooter who's been playing great in the 8 games since we played those guys last. And he did an unbelievable job of harassing him all over the floor, and honestly got us out in the transition game, which, like you said, opened up some easy ones for us.
Yeah. Final note: Castle, 14 points, made a couple of threes, he made all his free throws. It looked as if Villanova was saying, "Okay, go ahead, shoot it out there." And then, to his credit, I mean, I'm sure you guys are talking to him, and you got to say, "Hey, dude, you got to shoot it if they give it to you."
Yeah, I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job. Stepping up and making all 6 of his free throws were big. I thought he did an excellent job defensively, by and large, on TJ Bamba, who's a really good player. But, again, I think they really played him soft today, and he was able to step up and knock down 2 big ones. I think we probably want him finding that balance, when he can be a cutter, when he can be a driver, and not just settle for the shot that they want him taken. But I thought he did a nice job.
All right, final thing. I lied. That wasn't my final thing. To Newton. We just talked to him. I mean, the guy gets 16 rebounds, Coach. Come on. Are you working with him on rebounding or something?
I'm not.
The dude gets so many rebounds.
No, he does.
It's amazing.
He does. He went up and got some big defensive rebounds today, won a lot of those kind of loose 50-50 balls, and tracked down some long rebounds as well. He's just got a knack for it. He really does. I think this is his 4th or 5th triple-double. It's pretty impressive, the way that he's able to rack them up. He's our leading rebounder, and, I give him a lot of credit. It's important to him, and he puts in a great effort on the glass.
And you don't see triple-doubles in college that much. You see him in the pros. They play 48 minutes.
Right.
They get a lot of those.
No doubt. Well, I mean, again, he does a great job of rebounding for us. He's been our leading rebounder all season long. And when guys are making shots, on the perimeter like Cam was today, it helps those assist numbers as well.
All right, Coach Luke Murray, thanks much.
Appreciate
it. Good job. Nice comeback.
Yes, sir.
And Newton, by the way, 10 assists, only 3 turnovers. And that's the kind of floor game you need. All right, we'll be back. We'll hear from Zach Linfield and also from Wayne Norman and Dan Hurley. UConn wins it 78-54 here at Gamble. The Hart Auto Group post-game show continues after this from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
Movers and shakers, those cranking around on crutches, the high-heeled, the ready-to-be-healed, the always on your feet. We are masters of mobility, healers of joints, muscles, bones. What moves you, moves us. We are UCONN Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we practice what we teach. Here, academic medicine, research, and clinical care unite as one relentless power. Because together, anything is possible. Visit us at health.uconn.edu.
Big Y, your family market, is proud to be the broadcast booth sponsor of the UCONN Radio Network. Whether it's a meal for two or setting up a feast for the whole team, make sure to visit your local Big Y for it all. Grab some grinders, a party-sized pizza, even sushi and sandwiches. Big Y has all the essentials to satisfy even the hungriest crew. I'm iHeartMedia's Renee Danino, reminding you that it all starts with a trip to Big Y, your family market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y.
We're back in 60 seconds after this from your local station. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Hart Auto Group post-game show. Zach Linfield with you, and we quickly send it back to Gamble Pavilion. We've got a very happy Coach Hurley at the podium for you. We'll take a listen to the post-game right here.
You know, he's sometimes you can't let it, just always wait for the game to come to you. I think sometimes, too, when you play the better defensive teams, I think you're going to have to make shots in tighter windows. You're going to have to make more contested shots. You can't kind of, wait for, the perfectly clean look. You're going to have to make some tough ones. Villanova came in with a top 20 defense. Creighton the other day felt like Cam didn't pull the trigger. And again, like Creighton's a top defense. You've got to, you got to pull the trigger. You've got to attack. You've got to be able to make hard shots. I think he learned a lesson from that.
So when you say he had to eat crap the last couple, you were hard on him in practice?
I didn't have to be. I took my turn. But the family that guy's from and his makeup, and it's all internal. He doesn't live in the world that most kids his age live in because he's not on social. So this was just a man that doesn't give a crap what people are saying on social. It's more his own standards, and that's what makes him special.
Yeah, this team's obviously used to a spotlight, but such a bright one today with everything that happened this morning, and then with Rip and everything, and how they responded to that without. I assume they felt a little pressure, but to respond the way they did. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just think the residual of what we've done the last 2 years, going back to Houston last year, going back to Vegas last year, when you play in those type of moments as a program, as big a day as this was, as much fun and energy. The crowd was the best crowd maybe since I've been here, in terms of just the energy, the electricity. That's why it's so good to have like the blue and the white